morning, everybody. How are you doing today? Oh, come on, man. That was lame. Come on now. Good morning, everybody. All right, that was a little better. My name's Dr. Jim Clobber, and I'm president of Calhoun, and I want to welcome you to our symposium this year. But the most important thing is I want to thank you for choosing Calhoun Community College. And the reason I say that is because you could have picked any one of a couple of thousand different places to go in the country to go and get your higher education. But you chose us. And for us, that is an awesome amount of responsibility. You know, you do your part, you study hard, work hard, we'll do our part, and we'll help make sure that you get where you need to be and on your road to academic success and get your degree and either go to work or go on to a university, whichever is your pathway that you want to choose. While you're here, I want to tell you about one thing that we started last year, and I'm always very excited about it. It's really kind of one of the things I think are one of the most important things here for your success, and that is our Student Success Center. If you start in your classes, and let me tell you, we've all been there. I've been there, believe me, I have been there. You start off in the classes and you start having a little trouble along the way. We have help, and it's free help. That's the best part, it's free. It is called our Student Success Center, and those folks there are there for you. All you got to do is walk in and make an appointment, and you can have a tutor in whatever course you're having trouble in. We will have a tutor there for you to help you along your way and give you some assistance. I'm going to tell you, every one of the faculty and staff here at this institution, they sat in the same seats you're sitting in at some point in time in their life. And they probably felt the same fear, the same intrepidation, or about going and starting college classes. If you get to where you need help, you reach out to that Student Success Center. They are there for you, and they're there to help make you successful. So if you get in any problems, make sure you reach out to them. Reach out to your advisor. Reach out to your faculty member. Talk to somebody, because we want you to be successful here. We want you to be a graduate. I want you to think of yourself today, not only am I just a Calhoun student, but I am a future graduate of Calhoun Community College. I want you to think that in your mind every day that you come here, that I am a future graduate, and I'm going to accomplish my goals that I've set out for myself. Well, listen, I hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great year. And I'm going to turn it over to Dean Brett McGill, and he's going to take it from here.
My name is Brett McGill, and I'm a Dean of Health Science. And it is a great honor for me to host the Student Success Symposium as we start the fall semester. This is our 9th annual Student Success Symposium, and each year gets better and better, and this year's no exception. Calhoun Community College's vision is success for every student. Now that may seem like a lofty goal, but after today, we believe you'll be better equipped to achieve your individual goals and dreams. When you think about success, you must first define success and what it is for you. Zig Ziglar argued that success cannot be defined in one sentence, but instead it's comprised of many things. The definition depends on the individual, and one size does not fit all. So this event today and all of the resources and opportunities that will be discussed are just a part of your success story. Each person will write his or her own path, and no story will be exactly the same, but all will have similarities that help each person achieve his or her goal. Listen closely to our distinguished panel as they discuss everything that helped each one of them become a success, or better yet, a Calhoun success story, which we are very proud of. Let me introduce our panelists now. First, we have Anai Hines. She is currently enrolled sophomore student here at Calhoun. She graduated from Tanner High School, go Rattlers. She plans to complete her studies at Calhoun this December and continue her education by transferring to the University of Alabama and majoring in operations management. In the future, she would like to become a motivational speaker for students in situations similar to hers. Anaya loves to travel, and her goal is to travel out of the country at least once per year. Her favorite mantra is, "It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish." Next, we have Mark Brannon. There should be some walk-up music now, but we didn't get that going. I apologize. He's currently serving as the director of the Huntsville Research Park campus of Calhoun Community College. He has served North Alabama as an EMS educator and paramedic for over 20 years. He was the award-winning EMS program director and chair of the Allied Health Department here at Calhoun for over 10 years. Mark also currently serves as the pastor of Refuge Church in Athens and has led many missionary teams domestically and internationally. Our final panelist is Dr. Ricardo Solis. Dr. Solis is a board-certified emergency medicine physician serving in Huntsville Hospital. Rick started his medical career as a paramedic and an EMS instructor before going to medical school. Rick continues teaching and sharing his expertise locally as the medical director for Calhoun's paramedic program and internationally at emergency medicine conferences where he is a frequent presenter. Now you'll see the video presentations for each panelist. Thank you.
I love to travel.
Anaya Hines is a world traveler and Calhoun Community College student. After she graduates with her 2-year degree, her next destination is to the University of Alabama to pursue operations management.
Success means to me overcoming my fears and achieving my goals.
Anaya credits Calhoun for getting her on track.
Fast Track has most definitely helped me achieve my goals faster because when I first got to Calhoun, I thought I was going to be a little behind than from the rest of my class, but they helped me really get ahead.
It looks like you're on track to graduate this fall, so that's awesome.
Thank you. Now I'm graduating earlier than I expected, which makes me feel great.
When she needs help with her classes, she turns to another free resource.
The STARS tutoring is my automatic go-to. They are awesome. I love the team. Everybody is so nice. I actually have my one favorite girl, Cassandra. She helps me with anything that I need help with. I really love that program that they help me be successful.
Anaya says the biggest difference maker at Calhoun is
the staff is awesome here at Calhoun. I've gotten so close to so many people. The teachers made me feel like as if I was they knew me. Made me feel like I was important and it wasn't like I was just a number. I was actually somebody.
Working hard for her future, taking advantage of all the college has to offer.
My name is Anaya Hines and I belong at Calhoun Community College.
Anaya Hines is a Calhoun Community College success story.
Good morning. I am Anaya Hines, and I grew up just down the road in Tanner, Alabama. I was the only child, but I mainly lived with my grandparents growing up because my mom, she traveled a lot in the military, and my father was in prison for most of my life. This had a huge effect on my life. I wasn't the smartest kid in high school, but I had great work ethic. I came out with an ACT score of a 16, which completely embarrassed me, and I thought I would never be successful academically. I also felt judged about my family circumstances. This made me want to be better academically. I felt a lot of peer pressure to just get by in life and depend on others for my self-worth, but I valued my life more. For instance, I always felt like I had to live up to higher standards because of the mistakes my father had made. One of the smartest things I did was to start taking dual enrollment classes at Calhoun when I was just in the 10th grade. Then after I graduated high school, I got another chance with Fast Track program at Calhoun for English. Succeeding at this gave me much more confidence, and now I'm in Sigma Kappa Delta English Honor Society. I am here to encourage you to not give up just because of a unique situation that is out of your control. If you stay focused on your goals, you can achieve anything. Luckily, I had a great support system in my family and friends, but I still had to make the choice to become successful for myself. I've had some bumps in the road, as I'm sure many of you have as well, but I'm not going to let that stop me. I plan to graduate in December with a 2-year degree in general studies and continue my education at the University of Alabama. All this is to say is I truly believe it's not about how you start, but it's about how you finish. Thank you.
Dr. Ricardo Solis is a Calhoun success story. He came to the United States from Panama in 1991 to pursue his dreams of becoming an engineer. But fate would lead him to a career in medicine, and 1 year later, Solis graduated with honors from Calhoun Community College with a degree in chemistry and a certification as an emergency medical technician.
Starting my EMT courses here really is what set me on the path that's gotten me to where I am today.
Solis went on to complete the paramedic program at UA Huntsville.
I worked in North Alabama as a paramedic and paramedic supervisor, an instructor for many years before I went to Ohio University to go to medical school in 2004.
He graduated from the Ohio University College of Osteopathic Medicine in 2008. In 2011, he became a specialist in emergency medicine and completed his residency at the Medical College of Georgia in Augusta. But it all started at Calhoun.
I had a great academic experience here, and I think it set me on the right course for the rest of my career.
Currently, he's working as an emergency department physician at Huntsville Hospital. In addition, he travels across the country and abroad to faraway places like Peru, Guyana, and his native country of Panama, where he teaches and establishes emergency medical programs. Calhoun Community College, your success story starts here.
Thank you. I want to thank Dr. Wilson for the invitation to speak today, Dean McGill for the wonderful introduction, student services as well, and for CTV. And most of all, you guys. Calhoun has been really a family for me since I came to the U.S. and started my college and academic career here. It's really funny looking around and seeing folks that taught me, folks that I've taught, and people I've worked with for a long time, which are really family. I want to echo the sentiments of the previous speakers and Dean McGill, which is when you talk about success, you first need to define what success means to you. What is it that you want to accomplish? How do you want to affect the world and make a difference? And then with that end in mind, you always start with the end in mind. Having said that, life is not a straight path between points A and B, and it often takes a very tortuous path to where you finally end up. And you may end up in places where you never thought you would be doing things that you never thought you would do. So flexibility is an incredible skill to develop. And as everybody else will tell you, hard work is a very important part of the equation. Don't let people dissuade you from what you want to accomplish. Work as hard as you possibly can so that you will benefit from the fruits of that labor at some point. But don't try to do it on your own. Rely on others. Rely on the resources that are available to you. Calhoun is a great institution with lots of resources available to you. The folks who are sitting right next to you, who might 20 years from now, 25 years from now, be, introducing you to a crowd full of people. You're gonna make friendships. You're gonna make connections that are gonna last a lifetime. So use that as a resource. And finally, remember that everything that you're doing right now, the work that you're putting in, the effort that you're putting in, has a purpose, and that purpose is to make a difference in the world. So go out, see the world, experience as much as you can, but do that in a spirit of service in serving others. Other than that, I have no secrets to success. It happens if you make it happen, either by hard work or by relying on others and standing on the shoulders of other people who will push you forward.
My story, it's kind of a funny one. It's not a straight path.
After high school graduation, Mark Brannon's father asked him a single question. What did he want to do next in his life?
And I said, Dad, I'm going to college. He said, great, son, I'm so proud of you. I don't know how you're going to pay for it. I started Calhoun when it was in the mall. My 2-year degree took more like 6 years because there were times I couldn't take a class. I couldn't afford to pay for one. There was times that I'd had to work and times I would take a full load. And eventually I stuck with it and I finished my 2-year degree at Calhoun College.
He would go on to get his bachelor's from Athens State and his master's from the University of Alabama.
So today we're going to talk about airway management. So the cool
He originally wanted to go to medical school and become a doctor. Along the way, he discovered a different path.
Got interested in EMS, but then I got hooked. And the next thing you know, doors started opening. I started working full-time as a paramedic. Then I started teaching EMS. And when I started teaching EMS part-time, I fell in love with teaching. What do you do immediately when you find
Mark ended up working as an EMS professor at Calhoun Community College for 15 years. He's trained countless students and is part of a nationally recognized department. In 2013, he was the Technical Staff Member of the Year for the state of Alabama. When you ask him about success, he mentions a single word.
Persistence is probably the best word to define my life. Don't quit. And that's the best advice I can give to any student. There are semesters where things don't work out right. There were semesters where I didn't have the money to go to school. There was a period in time that there were about 3 years that I didn't take a class because of just life. Life got in the way. I had to have money for food. I had a child. We had to have gas and things like that. But I never quit. 2 years, what do you study?
Mark is now Calhoun Community College's Huntsville Research Park campus director. He says even though success can sometimes be slow, seeing students succeed is the most important aspect at Calhoun.
When you come to graduation and you see 400 or 500 students walk across stage, as a faculty member here at Calhoun, that excites me because that's success. We're making a difference in individual lives one at a time.
Mark says none of this would have happened without support from his wife, Regina, and his family.
As you change, so does your definition of success. So, if I'm a good husband and a good father and I provide for my family and I keep God first, then I think I'm a success. Thank you very much. I was a first-generation college student. That means I was the first one in my family to go to college, and that's true. I graduated from Hazel Green High School. Any other Trojans out there? Whoop, whoop. A few of you. Great. All right. And I remember being at the Civic Center, and after graduation, my father really put his arm around me and said, "Son, I am so proud of you. What are you going to do next?" And that stuck with me of what I'm going to do next. See, my father and my mother, they did a great job. My father worked all the time. He would go to work. He was up and gone before I would get up. And then he would come home to go to my baseball game or my football game, and then he would go back to work. He would come home and eat dinner, then he would fall asleep. And I knew from the beginning that he gave me a wonderful childhood, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be more involved with my children's life. And so I thought the way to do that was to go to college. I had no idea about college. I didn't know what financial aid was. I didn't know what advising admissions was. Deadlines, what are those? I never dealt with those. And I think sometimes in the college world, we assume people know those. And so it's kind of my mission to kind of stomp out that stuff that we assume that you know. Sometimes there are some policies and things we have that are difficult, and they're things we can do better. Persistence was the word that got me there. As soon as I got out of school and I started college, my dad said, "Well, son, great, you're going to do wonderful. Now pay for it." I thought, wow. So I sat down with the college catalog and I opened it up. And I said, well, I want to go to medical school. And I found this thing called EMT. Honest to goodness, I looked at my roommate and I said, you know what? Girls will dig a man in uniform. This is quick. I'm going to do it. And so I took this EMT class and I got hooked. And the next thing you know, I went on and I went to paramedic school. And then I started to work as a paramedic, working in the field out there. And then life just happened. I got married. Well, I still didn't have my degree. All I had was my paramedic certificate, and I was doing a great job and working with great people, but I wanted to do so much more. So I started back to school, and I would take one class at a time, whatever I could pay for. Sometimes there was one class, sometimes two, sometimes there were no classes. It's kind of funny, Dr. Solis said A to B is not a straight shot. I thought it was when I started school, but it wasn't. My straight shot kind of went backwards and around and backwards and around. So yeah, it took me 6 years to finish my associate's degree at Calhoun College. Was I a success? I think I was, because I was persistent. Listen, if I didn't know the answer to something, I would go into somebody's office and ask. And if they couldn't answer it, I'd go to the next office and ask. I wasn't afraid to ask. I would ask my teacher. I didn't assume anything. I would knock on doors. I would open doors and I would go in. My wife was a great support. She was there for me the whole time. And it was kind of funny because before I finished my bachelor's degree, my son was born. And before I finished my master's degree, my daughter was born. I don't want to go back to school. I don't know what. No, I'm just kidding. I would love to go back. But I was persistent and I kept going the whole time. You know, I wanted to give some wonderfully awesome quote to you about success. And I just want to sum up my life with the great philosopher Yogi Berra. When you come to the fork in the road, take it. That's what I did. I would go to the fork in the road and I would take it. I would take challenges. I would just try new things. I would knock on doors, and if the door didn't open, it was okay. I kept knocking. I look at my road to success and I really sum it up that there are friends, family, and faith is what made me successful. When we were shooting the video, the question come up, Mark, what is the definition of success? And I'm going to say my definition of success has changed from the time I was 18, 19, 20 sitting in your seat to today. But that's okay. I think your definition of success should change. I think success is individualized. I think for some of you, it's completing one class, getting a GED. It's one step at a time. And for some of you, I think it's maybe that transfer to that 4-year school. Or maybe it's finishing, getting my PTA certification or my paramedic license or nursing license. Once you accomplish that, what's next? I had friends that pushed me the whole way. I had friends that supported me. Dean McGill, our MC here, a long time ago, he gave me my first job teaching 20-something years ago. I didn't know anything, but I asked. I'll never forget that conversation, and I'll embarrass Brett here because Brett's my mentor now. But he came up to me and he said, Mark, I can't wait for you to teach for me. Now remember, I was young. He said, but you got to take the tongue ring out of your tongue. Oh, okay, I'll do that. Listen, I understand. And so then not only did I have friends that pushed me and friends that supported me, I had my family. I could not have done this without my wife. My wife has been by my side the whole time. There were nights where I would work. There was one semester where I taught 2 nights a week and I went to school 2 nights a week. So 4 nights a week, it was after 10 o'clock before I got home. And she stood by me the whole time and knew that we would be persistent together. It might not be a spouse, but it might be a friend or someone. You've got to have a support system. You have to have someone to lean on to. You have to have someone to turn to when you feel like crying that just wants to keep pushing you. And I want to say I'm proud of my wife because she supported me all the way through grad school and finally said, hey, now it's my time. And so I'm getting to experience on the other side. I want to be the husband that supports. I want to go do the dishes when I'm tired. I want to vacuum because I don't want her to worry about that because I'm so proud of her. And then ultimately it's my faith that made me a success. You know, my faith has changed over the years and my faith has grown over the years. But one verse that truly gives me freedom that I go back to every day is John 8:36 when it says, when the Son sets you free, you're free indeed. And there was a point in my life where I had fear of what other people thought of me, fear of not being a success, fear of not finishing. But you know, I still have fears, I still have doubt, I still have guilt, I still have shame, but now I have freedom from my guilt. I have freedom from my shame. I have freedom from my fears and my doubt. You know what? I knock on the door, and if it opens, I walk through it. And if it doesn't, I just praise God in the hallway. Thank you.